mantra shastra. The shastra or the knowledge about mantras. Now the four Veda, if we see what is there, there are mantra and the knowledge about mantra, the meaning of mantra. So basically every Veda is a mantra shastra. God gave the knowledge of Veda to us, humankind. So we can learn every aspect of life. From farming to robotics, some people say the modern scientists have done so much hard work to create this technology. The bitter truth is, America in Sector 51, there are so many scholars of Sanskrit who are working day and night to decode the Veda mantra and give them the knowledge of technology. In Germany, in Russia, how they became so advanced. In Mahabharata, Vedavyas writes that Sri Krishna was such a great scholar of Yantra Sarvasva. Yantra Vijnana means mechanical science and robotics, that he created a satellite of his own when he became the king of Mathura. He sent a satellite in space which had so many weapons in it. Sri Krishna had a controller with him all the time. It was a bracelet where was a button there. So he would just click it and the missile will target. Now the weapon, the laser, will come from space and destroy the enemy. That was called Sudarshan Chakra, because the satellite was round and from middle part it would send laser and destroy the enemy. Many years ago from that, in Treta Yuga, in the time of Ramayana, Ravan had such a weapon, such a suit. By wearing it, just like in nowadays you see Iron Man, from where the writer got the concept of that even that is possible. Even the Iron Man is not the best version of that. Ravan had such a security system for him that he was always protected from the 10 directions. The suit was made up of a metal which metal could not be destroyed by any weapon. It was so powerful. Hanuman, when he was 15-16 years old, he created a spaceship in the Gurukul. See, the students, they were so dedicated for education and so hungry for knowledge in that time. Nowadays we see lazy people who just do not give respect to the knowledge. They have no hunger. In that time, the Guru was teaching in Gurukul about mechanical science. And Hanuman was so curious about it that he started studying it in extra times, even in late nights. And he built up a spaceship. The spaceship which was made up of a metal which could tolerate so much temperature that he could even go near sun, which is impossible nowadays. No scientist can make such a spaceship which can go near sun. And that ship could travel with the speed of light. So Hanuman took permission from the teacher, from Acharya, and he visited so many planets in that ship. From where they all got the knowledge? The knowledge which was far advanced than the knowledge of today's. That all they learned from Veda. God has given everything. Either you say farming or computer science or robotics, whatever you say, everything is there in Veda. problem is that God has made it concise. In the mantra, there is so much knowledge, but it is like a code, you have to decode it. If you succeed to decode it, you will be able to get the knowledge. I build up the technology or whatever, the knowledge is there. So for that, we need a guru. We need someone who can share, who can decode the knowledge of mantra and share it with us. And we ourselves need to reach on that higher level of consciousness that we ourselves can start seeing the real meaning of the mantra, not just lost in the word, what is written. For that, we have to learn Mantra Shastra. Now here the first thing comes, what kind of meaning are there of the mantra? And how this mantra works? The mantras, they work two ways. The first method is, you chant the mantra like we did Om chanting in the starting of the class. You chant the mantra and it will create a vibration in your body and in your brain, and that will open the layers of your mind and your brain, and it will take you to a different level of consciousness. That is the one method, chanting the mantra, to create the energy inside you. We have seen so many people suffering with various issues, health issues. They started chanting mantra and the issues got cured. Because the vibration and the energy which is generating inside you is activating different hormones in the body. And those hormones, they are capable to destroy those issues in your body. All the code, all the programs to cure a person is there in the DNA. Only if you are able to activate the DNA. So chanting a mantra with the right approach, there is always an approach. For example, Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri Mantra can be chanted in two ways, or take Mahamrityunjay. Now Mahamrityunjay Mantra, nowadays we see that has become a propaganda. Someone who is sick, very sick, death-like situation. Now the person will go to the astrologer or a Brahmin. The Brahmin will say, I will do the mantra chanting for you, and the mantra will save you. It will give you longevity. It is Mrityunjay. It will give you, Mrityu means death and Jaya means to win. So you will win the death. They are all lying to you. It is not how the Mahamrityunjay mantra works. If you use the right approach, the right knowledge of Mahamrityunjay, that's a live example we have here. There are two approaches by which Mahamrityunjay mantra can work. The first, when you have various several issues, cancer or such disease, and you chant the mantra energetically, it will create such a heat in the body and vibrations in the body that will activate various hormones in your brain, and they will work to activate the code in the DNA, so ultimately the cancer cells will get destroyed. But the patient has to chant the mantra. Or, now how that works? For that the approach, see how I am chanting, just see and observe and try to learn. You have to create energy. How you create energy? If you say Om, is it energetic? Or Om, what is energetic? If you want to create heat, if you want to sweat, how you will sweat? Turn on AC, sit there, and yes, I am sweating. It won't work. You have to go out in the sun and you have to run, you have to work out, then you will have sweating. The same way, if you are chanting a mantra, if it is to create energy or heat or vibrations, the method should be like this. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityurmokshiyamamritat Swaha. Now when you are chanting the mantra, this is still a middle level. When you say Swaha, now many of you see that Swaha will not be included in the original Mahamrityunjaya mantra in Rigveda, in Yajurveda. Now why is that? Swaha means offering. Obviously we have to offer. The energy, whatever we are generating, we are offering into the inner yajna. The yajna which is happening inside in the mind. So that is why I include Swaha with it. When you are doing for knowledge, that we will come secondly, when we do not say Swaha and we just directly do the chanting. Now another way, you can do it more intense. Okay, the chanting of the same mantra, which will be more intense. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityurmokshiyamamritat Swaha. It became more intense and I could feel the vibration and that heat generating in my body. If you observe yourself, you will see slightly a heat will generate inside you. The vibrations will be going from there to your heart and then spreading to the other body parts. Now this is one way to chant the mantra. Another method is by understanding the meaning of the mantra. That is another job. Okay? So that is when you are actually using the technology of the mantra. So what is the technology? Triambakam means the God, Om. Om is the name of the God. Triambakam. Triambakam means the one who does three tasks. He creates the world, he sustains and preserves the world, and he destroys the world. So that is why his name is Triambak. Om Triambakam Yajamahi Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam. I worship the God Om, who is Triambak, who does the three tasks. I worship him with the things, with the offerings, which gives nourishment, Pushtivardhak, and which have good odor, good aroma, okay, good fragrance. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityurmokshiyamamritat. So you make me free. I worship the God Om, who is Triambak, who does the three tasks. I worship him with the things, with the offerings, which have great odor, good fragrance, and who give strength and nourishment. So you can make me free from all the attachment, negative qualities, and all anger and all such negative traits. Just like when a fruit is ripe, it falls from the branch of the tree. The same way, from all these materialistic desires and thoughts, I fall in the lap of God. Now the lap of God is symbolic. It doesn't mean that God has a body and we will fall in the lap. So that is the meaning of the mantra. Now how you can offer God with such things? That is in the yajna. In yajna we take the medicinal herbs which have great qualities to destroy the disease and give us strength. Also they have great fragrance. All of you have done yajna. You know how good fragrance it gives. So here God is saying that if you do yajna by using the right mixture of herbs, you can get free from all weaknesses, all psychological and physical disease. That is the meaning of the mantra. So the first approach was chant the mantra to generate the vibration and energies inside you. Second is use the knowledge of the mantra and do the actual ritual and get the benefit of the mantra. Now there is third meaning. That is to understand some teaching. So what in the mantra? There is just one mantra and I am giving you 3 applications of it. The third application is you have someone in your house, some child for example. the child is abusive, the child is negative, the child is full of attachment, someone who is so much attached in materialistic things. If you give the meaning to the person, chant the mantra in front of the person again and again, the person will get better. The desire, slowly, when you keep saying the same thing again and again to yourself, it is stored in the subconscious, and that is how your conscious mind start working. Understand again? When you keep saying something to yourself, or keep chanting something, or keep saying something, that thing gets stored in the subconscious mind, and based on that code, your conscious mind works. So if you keep saying, I am worthless, I am worthless, I am worthless, ultimately you will start feeling as worthless, and you will start behaving like worthless. If you start saying, I am a great leader, I am born to do something, I am born to do some great thing, ultimately you will start working that way. If you keep saying, I love food, I love good clothes, I love luxury in my life, I want that, I want that, you will be only working for luxury, food and pleasure, and you will even kill someone for that. Because that is what is the first priority of you now. But if you keep saying, kindness, love, humanity is what I have to follow, God is what I love, God is what I want, and I have to find Him anyhow. I have to connect with Him anyhow. Now you will do anything to connect with Him. It is all about what you think. So that is the third application of Aveda mantra. So this time now the approach will be changed. We do not want energy, we want understanding, calmness, grounding. Now the application is different. So the chanting. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pustivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mokshiyamamritat. Now the application is different, so does the way of chanting. First we are saying Om Trambakam Yajamahe. There we are creating the energy, the Rudra inside us. Now, because you have to teach yourself or someone else. Your child is so negative, full of negativity, so much attached to the materialistic things. Now every day in the morning you get up, and when the child is around 4 or 5 and the child is in light sleep, you sit there and slowly you chant it, or you play the recording of the mantra. So it is like a lullaby the mother sings for the child. And that is why they say that a child should remain with the mother in the first 4 years. And the mother should sing the lullabies, Veda mantras, with great meaning, great lesson. What it will does, it will store in the subconscious of the child, so in whole life the child will behave that way. If the mother is greedy, full of negativity, the child will be like that. If mother is kind, full of love, the child will be like that. When you see a child and you see a lot of negativity in him or her, you see the character of the mother. Either good or bad, it can be anything. But always you will see that 90% psychology of the child will come from the mother. Or the father, whoever have lived more with the child. In some houses, the mother leaves the body, she dies, or she leaves the house, the child has to live with parent, father. So then the father's psychology will influence the child. So it will depend. So there are 3 applications of each mantra. There are so many mantras, thousands of mantras in 4 Veda. We do not have that much time to study in one class. So in the course, Mantra Shastra, as I mentioned previously, we will be taking selected mantras with their meaning and applications, and different applications, that how we can use them in our life. Now before going there are some conditions. We must know some prerequisites which we need to know before we start doing the chanting of mantras. Write them down in your notebook. The first one is location, where you chant the mantra. So someone decided to go to near a bar and chant the mantra. Now the person was saying Om, and there the sound is coming different. Some abuses were coming. After chanting mantras for years, still the person was more negative and less positive. The reason? Because the sounds, what is coming. So the location should be quiet. That is why rishis, they put pressure on the word quiet place. The place has to be quiet, decluttered. There should be clean place. Okay? There should be cleanness. Good fragrance should be there. There should not be you go to your godam and there you start, or in the storeroom you are doing the chanting. That won't help you. You will see so many things that will put a psychological burden on your mind. It should be clean, decluttered. In the house, always do cleaning, and whatever you do not use or do not need, throw them away. You don't need it. If you haven't used it for 2 years, you are never going to use it. So it's better to get free from it. So the place where you chant mantra should be clean, quiet, peaceful and decluttered. Next, it should be positive. So good fragrance should be there, and the best way I recommend is you burn the Yajna mixture, Vedic fusion mixture, before you start chanting your mantra. So even if you are doing normal Om chanting or some other mantra chanting, still you first do yajna, or if you cannot do yajna, then just take the fusion mixture, add some ghee and camphor and just burn it. So it will create the aroma around you. Okay. Second, it should be light. You have to see. If you are doing under sun in the morning, early morning, not in the noon, okay, the sun will burn you. So there should be a balanced light, not too much light, not very less light. It should be balanced. Another thing, the direction. In which direction I should sit while I chant the mantra? That is a big question I receive, especially from people who follow Vedic architecture or Vastu Shastra. They usually ask about directions. First of all, the direction does not matter that much. The bitter truth, direction does not matter. The reason directions were given so much importance in Vedic architecture was because sunrise in the east, sets in the west. Now sun rays destroys the bacteria around you, which we can call the microbiological pollution. Sun rays destroy this. So one thing you have to see to choose the direction. First, the best direction is of the direction of sun. Wherever at that time sun is, that is the best. Second, from where the air is coming. You can open the windows, so air will come if it is not winter. We don't want to get frozen. That is the next point, the comfort of your body. How you should sit while you are chanting, what you should wear. That is a complicated question. What we should wear? You have to think about your comfort of your body. In the Yoga Sutra, Maharshi says that if you want to do some chanting, if you want to reach on the level of dhyana meditation, you have to be comfortable. Many of you when ask me that how they should meditate, I always say that is the same applies to chanting mantra. You cannot chant the mantra while lay down. That is the only difference. You can sit in any posture in which you are comfortable. You can even sit on a chair, or you can even chant the mantra when you are sitting in your car. Okay, that works. You can sit on your bed also. There is no harm with that. you should not directly sit on the floor, because while you are chanting the mantra, the energy is generating. If you are sitting on a plain floor, then it will go down. So you should sit on something which will stop the flow of energy from you to earth. Something like that, some insulator you can use to sit on. What you should wear? You should wear something according to the situation. If it's too hot, wear something light. If it's too cold, wear something warm. It's obvious, common sense. If the body will be in comfort, the mind will be able to focus on the inner world. If the body will be uncomfortable, the mind will be focused on this only. So you will never be able to connect with the inner world of yours. So that is something we have to keep in mind. Now comes the next, how many counts, how many times I should chant the mantra. That depends to the intensity of your karma and situations. For that, individually, generally we chant for 10 times, for 28 times, for 108 times. These three are the general recommendations: 10, 28 or 108. Otherwise, you can directly contact to us or some scholar of the subject who can advise you the right counts based on your karmic pattern. Okay. The next comes about the timing, when I should chant it. For the mantra, basically I say that whenever you feel disturbed or when you need support, you should chant the mantra. When you feel really peaceful and relaxed and free, that time you should chant the mantra. It depends. In the good times when you are relaxed, comfortable, happy, you are chanting to connect with God, to show your gratitude to God. When you are in trouble, you are worried, you are chanting so you can balance yourself. To remind yourself that there is a higher power who is there to protect you, to support you and guide you. So, depends. Now, some astrologers give the special muhurta for chanting mantra. That is practically foolish, because every person have a different level. Some people feel really connected and comfortable early morning. Some feel connected around in the evening. So it depends. You should also see your body level. See, everyone is not so sattvic. You cannot be so sattvic. There is no guarantee of that. It all depends. There can be too much rajas in you. There can be too much tamas in you. There is nothing to be ashamed about, because from that level you have to rise to sattva. So for that, first you have to start from a comfort zone and then slowly you have to move towards sattva. So these are some general requisites and also mudras. Okay, the mudras are there. Now what are mudras? When we chant the mantra, usually you see this mudra. So the thumb and first finger is like that, the three fingers are like that. So that is the mudra usually scholars sit in. Now that is Jnana Mudra, the mudra of knowledge. Because these thumb and the finger when connected together, they connect the flow of information, so your left and right brain are overly active. So that is great for learning when you are trying to learn something. So the third application of the mantra, as I taught, for that the Jnana Mudra is best. There are different mudras, Koncha Mudra and so many, Vayu Mudra, Jala Mudra, so many mudras are there. You can, we will be learning that in the Mantra Shastra later on. So you can start with the Jnana Mudra. That is the best one. The Jnana Mudra is the best. Okay, the Jnana Mudra, that is something you can do. These are some rules or laws you need to learn to start mantra chanting. If there is any question, you can write in the comment box of this video. Now from here we will be doing the classes that way.